Hey everyone, so we are back with another adventure. Today we're at the old Shelby Iron Furnace Park. It's actually on the site of the old iron furnace, or the old Shelby Iron Company. Now, a little bit about this. It dates back to 1842, where a man by the name of Mr. Ware purchased this property to build a iron blast furnace. As he was getting this furnace to be developed and be able to produce iron, I was reading on it that they were able to produce about 5 tons of iron a day. So if you guys are not familiar, that's a lot of iron to be produced in one day. Now, the company itself became really relatively important as the Civil War was getting more and more involved, because the company was actually starting to build iron plates or panels that would go on those boats that was used during the Civil War. Some of the boats that the company here made iron plates for, our panels, was for the CSS Tennessee, the CSS Huntsville, and the CSS Tuscaloosa. So that is actually pretty cool to know that this company had some kind of ties to the Civil War and helping out the cause of the Civil War and helping build the ships. So that's actually pretty cool. If you guys are in town, Shelby, if you guys are in town here at Shelby, Alabama, I'll be actually guest speaking near Chelsea, or at Chelsea Historical Society tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So if you guys are in town or stop by, or if you guys want to stop by, come by and see my great speech and all the great stories that I'm going to share of my different adventures that I've been to, and also trips that I'm planning to go to in the near future, as well as a couple more reenactments. But here's a sign here at the park. It's letting you know that you're here, and then it lets you know of different spots, like right here, the site of the rolling mill. Then you have the restrooms, the pudding furnace, the kitchen, the sawmill, the blacksmith shop and grist mill, the syrup mill, and the railroad scales. If you're not familiar, the railroad scales is probably right here behind me, where that old railroad train cart with some it looks like pipes are sitting on the old railroad. There's a billboard that kind of gives you a little bit more of the Shelby Railroad information, so we'll go over there and check that out as well. Now here is a spring house in Sanister. You got an old hotel here, a post office, and a commissionary, and as well as a museum. So it seems like this was kind of like a town at one point, and eventually it kind of faded out, and all we have left of it today is the history that it brings. And you can come out here like myself and just take a tour of American history, and just kind of see how life began here in America at those times. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoy this video and enjoy the trip of me going out there and being a guest speaker at the Chelsea Historical Society. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait. I've been waiting all week for it. Also, if you guys would like as well, you guys are going to go check out the Facebook fan page that I've created. But with that being said, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Love you guys, and talk to you guys again soon. Alright you guys, so we are coming up on, I believe it's Syria and Shelby Railroad. This gives you a little bit more information. The former Alabama Mineral Railroad, a division of the L&N Railroad, it constructed around 1890 to transport large deposits of minerals in the region: iron ore, marble, limestone, and coal. The L&N Railroad also ran passenger trains daily. The L&N depot was built in 1909, directly behind where you are standing. It was torn down in about 1953. The last passenger train ran about 1951. Fare to Saraga cost about 25 cents. That's crazy that it actually cost only 25 cents to be able to take a train back then. In 1968, Alabama Power raised the water level in Lave Lake. The tracks were 6 inches underwater, so the river crossing was abandoned. Freight was still shipped from Shelby, mainly pulpwood, until the late 1970s. In the mid 1880s, the tracks were removed, and the right of way was purchased by the Heart of Dixie Railroad Company. Plans are to replace the rails and run a 10-mile excursion train from Syria to Shelby. So that kind of gives you pretty cool information. Now, they said that the actual depot was standing right behind us. So somewhere in that area behind us where our car is parked, there was a depot that was a train depot that was actually originally, it was torn down in about 1953 is what this thing is stating. So that's pretty cool. Right here you got some old railroad tracks that they put here to add some more tourist attraction. And then you have this old train right here. So that's pretty cool. I hope that you guys are enjoying the videos that I'm bringing to you guys, especially going out to Robert Toombs' house as well as Alexander Stevens. Now there is a couple of his cabinet members actually buried here in Alabama as well. One of them is buried in Huntsville and the other one is in Montgomery. Now if you guys are ever in Alabama and you guys if you guys are into the Civil War as much as I am or my family, and wanting to learn more about the Jefferson Davis, now the city of Montgomery, Alabama is where the first White House of the Confederacy is actually located at. So that's actually pretty cool. It's a museum, but you can also kind of see how he was living during that time with his family. So that would be a pretty cool video. I'm thinking of going out there one day. I do want to try to tackle more on his cabinet. I think that's actually a pretty cool little interesting videos, just to kind of give you an insight of each of those men and how they thought during the Civil War. But here we are with this old train. As you can see, you can kind of tell how much it's been withered with the weather that's been coming around. The different, then you got some materials up here. So this is actually a pretty cool little piece of history that they have preserved here in Shelby. I love being out here in Shelby. It's a peaceful community. It's real laid back, it seems like. Really small town. Really like being out here. I'm actually very excited that I had an opportunity to come out here and share my history or my expeditions of the Civil War, the places that I've been to, and some of the places that I've been able to see ever since I started doing this YouTube. And I never knew that my YouTube would grow the way it has. And I believe the reason why it's growing is because I'm touching so many people's hearts and their lives of the different histories that I'm bringing about. But you know, that's what I enjoy doing, is looking at the American history and seeing where America came from and where it's at today. Kind of base it on here. Now right here in front of me is the Slag Skull, which is slag residue from the smelting of the iron ore. So this stuff is actually residue that came from, I guess, from some of the iron ore that they were working around during at the time of this furnace. Now, if you guys are not familiar, I have done a furnace before. a furnace place as well out there in Allatoona. Cooper furnace was also right around the Civil War time and was also burned and destroyed during the Civil War, as well as this one was as well. It was destroyed by a group of raiders. I'll have to give you guys some more information on that. I was actually contacted of this place from our good friend Jenny while we're out here. We're gonna meet up with him later, and she's gonna take me over there to see where her great-grandfather is buried. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, I hope that you guys are enjoying this video and all the other videos that I have recently updated or posted as well. We're going to continue moving forward and kind of just touching base a little bit on this. There's a plaque over here with a couple of I guess you could say remembrance and honoring of Confederate soldiers. If you guys are not familiar, we are actually in Shelby, Alabama, or Shelby County, in the town of Chelsea, where the 31st Alabama Regiment came out of. So I've done a lot of history with Shelby, soldiers and stuff. So, to be part of their history and being out in this town is actually very honoring and very exciting. Right here we have the museum. Looks like it's closed for the weekend, so that's kind of a bummer. But if you guys are ever in Chelsea, Alabama, or ever drive through Chelsea, Alabama, stop by here at the Iron Works. It's a great piece of history. You got a museum in there that can probably show you a little bit more of the town. So we'll walk up here and just kind of get an idea of maybe what they have here. But I like going to these places like this because it shows how each of these civilians, how they lived back in those times. There's a lot of different times. So right here, the Historic Shelby Association Museum. So if you guys ever are in town and want to stop by, come out here and check it out. They give tours as well, the property. Then over there's the restrooms, and then there's another building right up here that we are coming up to. Not really sure. But it looks like it's got one of those old wells. So that's actually pretty cool. And then you got the country store right over here. Or the commissary. Up here. Careful with the mud, dude.
Oh look.
What's up?
A little gift shop.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think they're only open on the weekdays, it seems like.
Oh, I'd like to go in there. Oh, okay. Hello, little squirrel. You see that?
Yeah, squirrel.
You see that?
Hey, squirrel.
They got antiques in there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they got a lot of antiques out here.
Yeah.
I like antique stuff. Then you got a couple of old machinery, it looks like.
Wow.
That way. With some old tractors.
Huh.
Yeah, this was that old ironworks that was here. And then we'll walk up there.
Okay.
At some point there was a house over here too that I was looking at. I'm not 100% sure on how accurate it was. There was a house that was here at one point that actually served as a hospital.
Really?
Of the Confederates.
I want to see that.
The Confederate history here is pretty strong. Yeah, that was the ironworks right there.
Wow.
That's the building.
That is huge. Are we allowed to go over there?
I probably wouldn't.
No?
I probably wouldn't because it's been set on fire.
Really?
Yeah, this is how it was originally burned. It was burned by a group of raiders.
Oh.
But I mean, it looks like it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you can walk over there in particular. No. No, I can see the signs with no trespassing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, I get that and I understand that. We don't, you know, we want to share history with our crowd. We don't want to really break any rules. But there you go, guys. That is the old ironworks located here in Shelby, or in Chelsea, Alabama.
That is really neat.
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, you can't really, I mean, even if you walked up there, there's probably not much you can really see.
Mm-hmm.
I probably wouldn't do it either because if they pushed iron out, you don't know what kind of toxic fumes are could have been still lingering up there.
Yeah.
But there's, I think this is the sign actually.
What?
Yeah. Here you go, guys. Oh, you guys are over here.
There you go.
Here. Come on out to the Shelby Ironworks. You can come here and you can see things like that. That absolutely beautiful building. These amazing antique collection that came about during those times of the ironworks. Just admiring all the great history that Shelby has to offer the city, the town of Chelsea. Also, if you guys are ever in the city of Chelsea, make sure you guys stop by the Chelsea Historic Society as well. Pay our good friend Jenny and her crew a visit, and they can give you some great history of Chelsea and how the town came about. I'm looking forward to going there. I've never been to Chelsea, Alabama. I'm extremely excited to be here. But right here in front of me is the railroad scales. These scales mounted in this pit were used to weigh rail cars carrying iron ore to the mill. So right here is how they would set it up.
It's really neat.
And then right across the street, it looks like there's a tunnel over there. Probably connected to this iron furnace. So, see it, baby?
Yeah.
You got us an old tractor. Get on there and show everybody how to drive it.
It's so funny.
I wouldn't know how to.
You gotta need one of them straws to hang out of your mouth,
and
and
one of them
straw hats.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So we are coming up on the syrup mill. The fall ritual of syrup making was a necessary. Residents depended on the sweet during the long winter, used as substitute for sugar. So there you go. This is where they were making syrup during those times. And then we'll just walk in here and kind of get an idea. Assuming this is part of their syrup. Right here, I guess. Right here. I would assume that's it.
I think so.
Right here, this piece of machinery.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though. To have all this stuff attached to it.
Yeah, it is.
Like these old machines. It's just amazing that history like this is still here, and people like myself and my family can come out here and be able to. Oh, this piece right here came from Chattanooga.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says Chattanooga.
What about that?
Came out of Chattanooga. And then you got another piece of machinery right there. That's probably used for the pulleys, I would imagine. There's a side view of the furnace. So beautiful.
That's huge.
Huh?
That's big.
Yeah. Did you try to zoom in over there?
Yeah. Okay, cars to go by. There's that. Look at something.
And then right here, another piece of machinery that came out of Chattanooga. It's actually a pretty cool place though. Very like peaceful, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I like coming to places like this.
Yeah, I do too. Got a lot of history with it.
Yeah.
What's this thing?
That's the sawmill.
Sawmill.
We're coming up on the sawmill. I noticed that a lot of the pieces came out of Chattanooga though.
Yeah?
Like the machine.
Yeah.
Alright you guys, so we are coming up on another one. This is actually their sawmill. So, as you guys can, now, I know you guys are probably going to laugh at me in the comment section, but I'm assuming that they would come down these lines right here from this conveyor belt, and this is where they would eventually cut the wood into the size that they were needing, and they were powered by these machines right here to be able to do the job that was needed. But I've never really seen how a sawmill works. I always had a fascination on how they work. After being here, I might actually look up some videos on how the sawmill actually works, because I'm actually pretty interested to see how one of these old sawmills work. But I do believe that they probably came down this line right here with that opening right there. I think this is where they were coming down this line, and this is where they were being cut into pieces that are needed to be able to lay like the flooring, or even build the homes and sheds and stuff like that. So I believe that was it. Hopefully I'm right. Hopefully. Yeah, there's another one right there. There's a piece right there too. And then there's that ironwork right there, babe.
Yeah, something like that one.
The furnace.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's bigger than one in Cartersville.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Remember that one that we went into Cartersville?
Yeah.
Alright you guys, so we are coming up on the steam engine. It was manufactured in Birmingham by Heidi Ties Company. Shelby Iron Company utilized steam power to operate the machine shop and other equipment. So they used a lot of steam to be able to operate the machinery. But this is a huge steam engine, you know. You can just tell how old and it's been around for a while is because it's just slowly peeling and breaking off. So glad that I was able to come here and see this. This is very interesting, very fascinating to be able to see this kind of information and just kind of get an idea of where this town came from and stuff like that. So that's actually pretty cool. And then right here, you guys, is the iron furnace. Alright, you guys, so right here is the iron furnace that we were talking about earlier. As you can see, it's a pretty big building, or a pretty big tower. So that's actually a pretty cool little piece here. This is part of that furnace that we were talking about earlier. And then we have this little piece right here. I'm assuming that may be a well right there, but there is a sign right over here that we can look at. Maybe it'll provide us a little bit more information on exactly what that may be. Okay, so right here is the machine shop and smokestack. So apparently that is one of the smokestacks. It stood about 80 feet high and one of the few remaining Shelby Iron Company structures. So that's only one of few that are still existing through the Shelby Iron Company. And you can tell at the very top how it has some of the, you know, the vines and stuff growing up. It's just been sitting for a very long time. But it's so peaceful and so joyful to see that it's still standing here with us. And then right up here, there's a monument of some of the Confederates. What do you think, babe?
I like it. Look at this drop hammer.
Oh, that's cool. All right, you guys. So right here is a drop hammer. Try to zoom in for him, baby.
I am.
And then just slowly zoom out.
That's neat.
Oh, it looks like there's a monument here of the Shelby Iron Company too. Huh?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's actually pretty cool. Then there's one of the Confederate soldiers, actually two, for the Confederate soldiers, and then the Shelby Iron. So that's pretty cool. Alright, you guys, so we came up to, oh, this game actually got some names on it, babe. Look.
Wow.
Of this. It goes on the back too. So right here, you guys, is some of the Confederate soldiers that came out of Shelby County. Right here. So that's actually pretty cool. If you guys are not familiar, okay, they broke up in different companies. So that's, they had, each different company had different letters. But there, that is some of them over here. And then they got some more on this side. Wow, I like this. Yeah, right here. In March 1865, Union cavalry incapacitated and shut down the ironworks at Shelby. After the war, Northern investors revealed and expanded operations of the ironworks until its final closure in 1923. So that's pretty cool.
And that's something.
Yeah, that's her grandpa.
31st. Yeah. I don't know, honey. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
A lot of
I probably just
Alabama.
wonder what we're doing here. That is a lot of Alabama, isn't it? Wow. So I'm assuming... Okay, so that would be like Kentucky, right?
No, Company K. They broke up in different companies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then if you walk over here...
It's on the other side too?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh. It's a lot.
The guy had a name called George Honeycutt.
Honey.
Honey.
Honeycutt.
Here's another 31st. Brian.
Who?
Brian.
Brian.
Henry Holcomb came from 31st. Hosea A. Holcomb. And right here, the Confederate Union units that raised in Alabama with Shelby County soldiers. That's right here.
Oh yeah. Huh.
These are all the regiments that came out of Shelby County.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Or, you know, Shelby County and other counties around.
Sawyer. That's a neat last name.
Yeah.
Sawyer.
I wonder if these two were brothers.
Oh. Could be.
Nathaniel. Thomas.
Thomas Nathaniel.
No, Nathaniel M. Thomas. Thomas. They're doing it by last name.
Benjamin, Jacob, Joseph. McCain. Washford. Marlin. Hillary. Oh, okay. Wow.
All right.
It's neat.
All right, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and conclude the video here. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and once again, if you guys are in Chelsea, make sure you guys stop by tomorrow as I'm gonna be there performing a guest speaking for the Historic Society. So I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited of meeting our good friends tonight, diving a little bit more into the Chelsea history. So with that being said, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.